What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Outside Line Media, and today we are talking about the Spanish Grand Prix from 2 weeks ago, and we're gonna throw a couple tasty predictions in for the Canadian GP this weekend. This is coming out and being recorded after qualifying. I'm not a bitch, so I made my predictions before qualifying.
I made mine forgetting qualifying
That's what he
as
says.
best I could. Hey, I make my predictions right before we record, and this is when we recorded. So is it my fault that we're waiting this long to record? Yes, it is. But I was busy, which means I also couldn't make my predictions. So
Yeah, brother wanted to go see the Savannah Bananas play for some reason. I wish I could have gone.
Free tickets.
Yeah, I didn't even get drawn in the lottery.
That's tragic.
Yeah, nothing really happened to the Spanish GP. Like Max Verstappen kept his nose clean. No like controversies or anything like that.
Yeah, a very chaotic race. For a pretty calm result, I'll say that. In the end,
It's
Oscar
the most
won.
white bread podium ever after a chaotic ass race.
Oscar, Lando, Charles, George Russell, and then Nico Hulkenberg, fifth.
Hell yeah, Nico.
But yeah, I'm sure anyone who likes F1 and would be watching this video, I'm sure has seen the Max stuff. But if you haven't, basically, Max had to give a position back to George. He gave it back to him, then just decided to hit him and pass him.
Big mood. That's something I'd do to Ryan if I'm letting him pass me.
Exactly. So, big story about why it's so significant is one, he didn't get a penalty for it, right?
He did.
Or no, he didn't get a penalty. Yeah, he did.
He wasn't going to get. They weren't going to make him give that position back. Yeah. It was a blunder from Red Bull. They weren't giving him a penalty for that overtake. But then he got somehow only got a 10-second penalty from that.
Which is crazy.
Should have been a drive-through.
Yeah,
it was a drive-through when Sebastian Vettel did it at lower speeds to Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, so
I don't think it should have been a race ban. I'm not going to go that far. We have precedent for what it's been before. The only time it's been a race ban has been when it was for a championship, I believe.
Yeah, and
that was Schumacher crashing. Schumacher crashing. What's his face out?
I'm blanking.
Prost.
I got nothing.
Prost.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, he's 1 penalty point away from a race ban. He's got 11 out of 12 points.
That does reset at the end of this month.
Some of them. Like four points, I think.
Enough.
Go away at the end of the month.
Maybe. Enough
where he's safe.
Yeah.
But he is this
enough to where he can hit George Russell again.
Canada's a danger zone, and as we were recording this post qualifying, we could talk about this. They're starting next to each other. Front row of Max and George. George made a cheeky little comment about he's got more penalty points to give than Max does. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happens turn one. I don't see Max as the type of guy that's going to let these penalty points change remotely the way he drives.
Oh, he's just taking a vacation if George pulls anything cheeky.
Yeah, because Max would throw his race away at a chance for one additional point, as we've seen.
And then he can be a terrorist for the rest of the season.
Yeah, resets penalty points. So I'm sure he's not even thinking about it. He's just going to do the same old Max things, which is taking the rules of the series at the moment and exploiting them to their max. And
I mean, it's to the point where Red Bull has already gotten the super license provision for Arvid Lindblad to cover.
Yeah.
If Max. When Max gets a race ban.
Whether that would be him going straight to the Red Bull, which is I think what me and Pat both agree would be what we would do, or pulling Isaac up and putting him.
Because, I don't want Yuki to lose his seat, but he hasn't proven. Because this is looking into the future, too. I don't think you put Arvid in the Racing Bulls full stop. I don't think Yuki's proven himself for that Red Bull seat. And I think the experiment you need to run is what Mercedes is doing with Kimi Antonelli, and just put him in that top team car and let him figure it out. That way he doesn't have a driving style influenced by an easier to drive car. That's just the car that he knows.
Yeah, it obviously has worked with Max. which is the reason that I think all these drivers are struggling. Is that car is built for Max,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's not
super
many drivers.
pointy.
There's not many drivers on earth that can drive like Max can and drive a car that is so close to failure. And obviously, it's not a great car, full stop, period.
Mhm.
You can find pace in it, but there's also sometimes it just falls flat on its face.
Well, I mean, it's like even in 2020, Alex was talking about when he drove the Red Bull, just how pointy it was back then. And I think it's only gotten pointier now.
Yeah.
So
definitely something. I agree. Think Arvid should go straight to the Red Bull and just see how he does. These are the one race test.
Because Lawson's getting fired at the end of the season.
Yeah, there's
maybe mid-season. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. They shouldn't shuffle. I don't think this year. I don't want them to touch Red Bull.
It's Red Bull, dude. You have to account for the fact they might.
They might, but I think they ought to just let Yuki ride the season out and just
demote him at the end of the year. Yeah, I would like them to tell him sooner rather than later if they're demoting him, to give him a chance to find a ride somewhere else.
Yeah. Also, some weird rumors coming out today about a comment about Fernando to Alpine. No clue any validity.
Why would you go back to Alpine, Fernando?
Just
maybe retire. Now that Flavio Briatore is there, he wants to go back. They'll have Pierre Gasly crashing into a wall for him.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, definitely weird stuff. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we are, as been hinted to in every episode we record this week, Patrick is going to go on a tirade at the end of this episode about the schedule release. But I told him that we have to get through all the other stuff, because once he starts going, we're going to
be feeding off of each other on this rant, I think.
It's going to end the video. So we're going to get all this done. So let's go back and let's recap how our predictions did for the
Spanish. Other rumors coming out right now is that Max Verstappen is possibly going to use his brake clause at the end of this year. And it wouldn't even be he's leaving Red Bull. I think it would be fully he is leaving Formula One.
Which would be insane.
I'd love it for him. I'd have a WEC GT team to support.
Yeah.
I don't really follow WEC that much, so I support Joda, but
I'm making this commitment right now to Patrick. I haven't told him this. I figured I'd wait till the camera's on. And a completely unrelated video of the series of fault. I'm getting in the WEC. I'm doing it, brother. I'm getting locked in. I'm making Twitter algo as we speak of WEC stuff. Doing some research. It's going to take time.
I mean, shit, if we want to do some solo videos, I can do some Moto America stuff, too.
Yeah, but maybe
I've been looking for a reason to get big into it.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments if you want to see some individual content about WEC and Moto America, and if that would be something that interests you. But let's look over them predictions. How did your predictions do 2 weeks ago?
I had Oscar 1 and Norris 2nd. So that was good. I also had Verstappen on the podium, which was looking pretty good until the incidents. And until they put him on hard tires on the last stop.
Yeah.
Red Bull fumbled the strategy. He only had hard tire. His tire availability, he only had new hard tires available. They could have put him on a set of scuffed mediums, though, I feel like.
And it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I got Charles on the podium. And that is it.
Hell yeah.
Also, let us know down in the comments below, what if for the best of the rest category, where we name the team that thinks can do the best, should we go off average finishing position or the amount of points they score, if it comes down to where that's a debate? In this race, it wasn't. The average finishing position for Kick Sauber was higher than RB.
Somehow. Crazy sentence to say.
Yeah, Nico Hulkenberg in 5th, carrying that heavily.
I mean, Gabby, not a bad performance down in the P12. Yeah.
12 for Gabby, which was just behind the other RB. So obviously, with Isaac being in 7th, it just shifted him down a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's just something to think about.
Yeah, we've come up with a couple of scenarios where it could be a problem, mostly having to do with just luck of a lucky safety car.
Fringe situations.
Yeah.
Or I'd say fringe situations like an 8th and a DNF and a 9 and a 10.
Yeah.
You would,
eighth pays
9
more
and
points,
10.
but 9 and
8
10
pays
is a
more
lot
points and 9
better.
and 10 is a lot better.
Unless the guy who
finishing position.
DNF'd was running in like P6 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's never going to be an organic. The more we do these prediction things, the more I find out.
Yeah.
Outside of the top 3, you can't just put numbers to it. You do unfortunately have to do, not unfortunately,
It's a lot of vibes.
So
Yeah.
definitely debatable content. So, I mean, me and Patrick, we love a good argument. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we love some of that stuff. But yeah.
How did the rest of your predictions do, Ryan?
Ass, horrible, garbage. I was really thinking that the flexi wing changes would hurt McLaren. I had them miss the apex. I thought Haas would do good for some reason. I had them hit the apex. And I had RB best of the rest. And my podium was Max, Charles, George.
Yeah, I had Alex Albon hitting the apex. I didn't give that to myself. I don't remember why. I think they finished pretty low.
Albon didn't finish.
That's why I didn't do it. Yeah.
Albon.
That was a mech failure, right? Or was that a crash?
I'm pretty sure. Great question.
But then I had Esteban Ocon missing the apex, and he finished somewhere in the back. Not a good race result from Ocon. And then we both had best of the rest for RB, which it was a close one. But ultimately, Sauber took that. But yeah, getting into our predictions for this weekend, mine are looking pretty good after qualifying. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he probably made it in about 15 minutes before he got on the call with me.
Bro, I will send you a screenshot of my revision history.
He's hedging. It's okay. I don't want to see evidence. I just want to bully you. What's your top 3? Rip me your whole top 3. I'm curious.
P3, I got George Russell. P2, I got Oscar Piastri. And P1, I have Max Verstappen.
Oh, wow. It is looking good. Better than mine. I have Lando P3. I think that McLaren is fast enough. And I was forgetting, and I was like, I would have had Lando. I would have had Lando almost every podium because McLaren's so fast. So it kind of be cheating me. So I went Lando 3rd. George Russell 2nd.
Lando just not looking like he's had the pace so far this weekend.
Yeah.
Made an absolute just major error in his first qualifying run, and that just put him on the back foot.
Yeah, so he's battling.
Having to do a banker for your second run in Q3 is not ideal.
Yeah, and I had Oscar winning.
Which is still looking decent. He's what, P3?
Yeah. So,
who's your hit the apex?
I got Isaac Hadjar hitting the apex. I don't remember where he qualified. I don't know if he qualified well.
P10. I don't think he actually did a run, really, in the second, in Q3.
Did he ever get penalized? There was something there. He impeding. I don't think he got a penalty for that, did he?
I haven't seen anything, but we could see something like midnight tonight, knowing the FIA.
Yeah.
Yep. My hit the apex is the same as last week. Are we good with that? Especially because it didn't hit.
It's fine.
All right, I have Alex Albon hit the apex.
Okay, I like it. Who got missing?
I have Lando Norris missing the apex.
Oh, wow.
My hate is coming through, man.
I got Haas. I figured I gave him the hit last week. I'm giving him a miss this week.
Yep.
Because here's the honest truth. If Haas does bad, I get my point. If Haas does good, I'm happy. Even though they don't have my King K-Mag.
That's BMW Team WRT.
Yes.
Is it Team WRT? The K-Mag's on?
BMW M Racing WRT for WEC.
Okay. BMW M Team RLL for IMSA.
Yes.
I've got Williams, best of the rest. Just got a good vibe at Canada. Sainz obviously not making it through to Q3. Q2, right? Was he knocked out in Q1? Sainz.
I think he was.
Not looking good for him, but he's good at passing people. So
yeah,
hopefully we're good there.
I got Williams' brother.
There we go. We can have the same answer again.
Yeah, there we go. Easy enough. So that's our predictions. I'm excited for the race. What time is the race tomorrow, Patrick? Do you know? Because I don't.
Let me check. Quick.
Maybe check on the Racing Line app.
Check the Racing Line app.
The Racing Line app. There's also, it was 3 F1 Academy races. It's probably too late to say that, but they race at 2 p.m.
practice going on right now.
They race at 2 p.m. I will be out to a late lunch, I think, with my family. for Father's Day. I will have it on my phone.
I might be watching it. We will see.
Um,
I have
but
some beef with F1 that we will get to in a moment here.
yes. Any last thoughts about going into Canada? I'm excited for this race, actually.
I like Canada. I just hope there's a little bit of changeable weather this weekend. That always seems to take
At
Canada
all,
to
yeah.
peak.
Canada has some peak races when it comes to changing weather. Don't ask Charles about it with some tire strategy. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to think about it. Moving on.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about hards on a wet track or wets on a dry track.
Dry track. Oh, sorry. Someone. If you're wondering, there's 13 hours left in Le Mans, and someone just blew the hell out of track limits in an Aston Martin.
Hell yeah, brother!
Oh yeah, brother.
Look at how they murdered my boy. Look how they massacred
let's roll
my boy.
into,
They put a muffler on it.
Let's roll into the main event. I'd like to say for this episode. Patrick,
Canada 2026.
The schedule came out.
And Ryan, when's the Indy 500? I forget. It's like never on the same day every year.
Yeah, it always changes. You know, it's like Christmas. Always on a different day.
Yeah,
never predictable. It's like New Year's. You never really know what New Year's is, right?
I mean, exactly. Like it's something like I don't know. I mean, 110 years. It's kind of hard to nail down a date after 110 years.
Yeah, you really don't know.
But I think it's on Memorial Day weekend this year. I think it's on the Sunday of Memorial Day.
Have they announced that yet? If you can't tell, they scheduled Canada on the same day as
the Indy 500. And look, I get it. F1. You've been around for 75 years. You know, that's a lot of history. 75 years is a lot of history, and you know, maybe you just forgot about the 110th running of the Indy 500. Not even the 110th anniversary. That was like 6 years ago. The 110th running of the race. And it's it's been on Memorial Day for like 70, I think, since F1's been around. It's been on Memorial Day for a long time.
Obviously, they've always raced with the Indy 500 with Monaco, but now they move it to a North American race, which presumably means
in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, Motorsports Christmas. Unless F1 does a mega move and puts this race at a very odd hour.
It would have to be like a 3 p.m. race.
Or like later. I guess they can't really do later than 3 p.m.
I think 3 p.m. we could maybe salvage.
But then you're bumping with the Coke. Then you're bumping with the Coke 600.
When's Coke 600 green flag? Like 6? Or is it 5?
It's 5. I mean, you gotta think it.
F1 will be like an hour and a half. If the Coke 600 is at 6, we could salvage it.
Yeah, but I mean, more realistically, it'd be better if it was earlier, like a 9 a.m. race for no reason.
Yeah, but green flag for the 500s, 12:45.
Give you a little window.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're it's
the
messed
rain
up.
Delays we've had lately, it will be like 1 o'clock green flag.
Really, with just horrible. It's just a clear.
It's a slap in the face. It's a declaration of war for American open wheel racing. IndyCar has been like just kind of coexisting with F1. I think now's the time to just stomp on F1 and take over that market. And you guys know my take. I like keeping IndyCar a little bit secret because I like keeping my cheap races. But if F1 fails in America so IndyCar can succeed and I have to pay $250 to go to a race, I'll take that. I hate F1 at this point. I've been just beefing more and more with Formula One this year, and this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know if I'm going to watch F1 for the rest of the year. We'll see. I'm definitely never paying for an F1 TV subscription again. And
that's fair.
I mean, just straight up, what am I missing? I can just look at the qualifying results, and I basically know like 85% of the race results.
Yeah.
I think that Doug Bowles, Roger Penske, Bill France, and Stefano Domenicali could all sit down and work it out. But I don't see Formula One wanting to cave to another open wheel series. Even though the drivers, I'm sure if you ask the drivers, would want to be able to watch the Indy 500.
Better yet, be able to go.
Yeah.
if that was possible.
Look,
Like,
my perfect motorsports world, you don't have anything that interferes with the Indy 500, qualifying or race day, so that drivers from other series can run it, and you don't have anything interfering with Le Mans, which I got beef with IndyCar and Formula One for interfering with Le Mans. I want drivers to be able to run Le Mans. It's kind of sad not seeing any IndyCar drivers in it this year.
yeah, it's sucks. It's like a big oversight, especially when IndyCar clearly does not give a fuck about gaps in the schedule, as we've talked about many times. But that's not what this episode's about. But I agree. I think marquee events.
I mean, look at the
you have to give
Rolex
them-
24. We had drivers from every single discipline there. You've got NASCAR drivers, you have Formula One drivers, you have IndyCar drivers, you have endurance drivers, you have IndyCar commentators.
Yeah, you got literally everything. I mean, it's because
That's what
nothing else
happens
races.
when you don't have anything interfering with a race weekend. That's a prestigious global event like the Rolex 24. Imagine the lineups at Le Mans that we could have if we didn't have other series racing.
Yeah, it could be wild. But yeah, it's just it's disrespectful, and obviously F1 doesn't. I couldn't tell you if it was them really thinking it wasn't going to be that big of a deal.
Their North American ratings are going to tank. I could possibly see in-person attendance not being as good because you'll probably have less North American fans that want to drive to Canada now and would rather go
Canada
to the Indy 500.
Is the, at least for us, the most affordable F1 race to attend is Canada.
It's also just the closest one to travel to.
It's
the
like closest,
11
which
hours.
is crazy. Which is crazy. That 11 hours. Like, people always talk about we have 3 races, we have too many races. We're like 11, 12 hours from a race.
Yeah. Because Miami's probably 15, 16 hours from us.
Yeah.
Coda is the next closest, and that is, I want to say, 26 hours. Last time when I went to go to I was going to drive to my cousin's wedding.
Not a cheap flight, I'll tell you that.
And I backed out of that, and I don't back out of a long drive.
Patrick, I'm gonna deliver Patrick some sad news. Valentino Rossi's team is stuck in a sand trap right now.
Got it.
So sorry to break immersion, everybody. It seems he just had a moment under braking and just blew the corner, and he's not moving, so that's not great. But
damn it. Love my boy Ross.
That's our thoughts on.
Can we get an endurance team with braking immersion again? With Rossi and Marc Marquez when Marc Marquez retires from motorcycle racing?
That would be sick.
It would be the most firework riddled team because those two hate each other.
Well, just received in my text 3 plays grid penalty for Isaac Hadjar for impeding.
Where was he supposed to go?
I don't get that.
This is the same bullshit as Ali Behrman's penalty in Monaco. What do you expect him to do? Like, he was as far right as he can go, going straight on the corner so that Sainz had, or who was it? Was it Sainz that he was impeding?
Car 55.
Sainz. Where do you expect him to go? If he goes to the inside, he's going to block the apex. If he stays to the outside, he gets an impeding penalty.
It's a wrong place, wrong time. That's not a penalty, though.
There's nothing that he could have done to change that situation. Just like, I mean, Ali Behrman in Monaco. He was rounding a corner full speed. I want to say it was the corner after swimming pool.
Yeah.
Full speed. Right. They show the red flag, and he passes a car that was on a cooldown or a warm-up lap. If he had jammed those brakes, he's wrecking that car.
Yeah.
He's wrecking his car and the car that's in front of him. It's a safety issue. I understand you have to slow down for red flags, but it's a safety issue to jam your brake in the middle of a corner to not overtake a car.
Yeah. No, it's FIA constantly. It's a compiling stuff. It's
just like how late. When was qualifying? It was like 4:00, right?
Yeah.
So 4.5 hours later, we're finding about an impeding penalty from Q2.
No. According to this came out at 6:43, or no, 8:43. Wait, no, 6:43. Military time hard. 6:43. So
So
Under
still
2
like
hours,
2.5 hours after practice. Tell me how IMSA can review 3 different restarts at the same time in less time than it takes for the FIA to review one incident of impeding with a driver. Qualifying impeding penalties should be done in the moment in qualifying, so that the driver that is on the bubble for it, because Isaac Hadjar, if that had happened during qualifying and they deleted his lap time, a different driver would have been bumped into Q3.
Yeah.
It would have been Yuki Tsunoda, I think, but
like, what are we doing?
Like, we are hurting the results of qualifying by not allowing those drivers to get another run in the next part of qualifying. It's horrible. It's like Nico Hulkenberg a few weeks ago. Alex Albon would have transferred in, and Alex probably would have been able to get the car into Q3 instead of Q1. But the FIA decided to not make a decision for 5 hours. I think the penalty system in Formula One is terrible. Like, sometimes I feel like I hear about disqualifications of post-race tech where they're tearing a car apart faster in IndyCar than I hear about F1 like 10-second penalties.
Yeah, it's insane.
Definitely NASCAR tech. We get those penalties like 2 hours after the race.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand how you can be the pinnacle of motorsports and have this bad of a group running it. They need to just secede from the FIA. Fuck the FIA.
Yeah.
Run it yourself, please. It's embarrassing that you have shit. I think the local dirt track is run better than Formula One is run.
It feels like that sometimes.
And I'm talking about Florence Speedway. I'm not talking about Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, it does. It feels that way sometimes. It's like,
get your shit together, guys.
Yeah, I still will be watching F1. I still do enjoy F1. It's just it gets harder as days go on when they just shoot themselves in the foot constantly. The driving standards are my biggest gripe. I could the scheduling stuff would piss me off, but it wouldn't be such a point if the driving standards were a little better, where we actually had real overtaking and not either DRS or terrorism dive bombs.
Well, then you have everyone, whenever you like do have good wheel racing, they're complaining about the driving standards there because it's not a DRS overtake. DRS has ruined Formula One driving standards, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The regulations also ruin themselves every single time they come out.
And then what happens is everyone complains about every overtake, so there is good overtakes occasionally, and people call that terrorism when there's very more clearly dive bombs in like ahead at the apex ass just to run you off the track, which is unacceptable.
Yeah, this is like the whole thing with the FIA swearing ban is, oh, these drivers should be, good influences for the younger drivers. I'm sorry, but they're allowed to just run a driver off the track
and get rewarded.
That's being a good influence for young drivers.
Running someone off the track. If you try that in any other series, you'll find out real quick.
NASCAR, you're just getting spun.
Yeah, and like any other penalty, any other series, you're getting a stop and go minimum.
Yeah,
minimum stop and go.
NASCAR, someone's just gonna spin you. That's a self-correcting issue.
Yeah, NASCAR it self-corrects, but like, you throw a turn one dive bomb and just slam someone off the track in IMSA, you're not going to make it 2 laps before incident responsibility drive-through penalty comes
That's
through.
Going under review within like a quarter lap.
Yeah.
And then you'll get an avoidable contact penalty within like another 2. It's just insane. I can't stand
Ridiculous.
it. It's just getting harder and harder for me to like F1 because they're making it harder and harder for me to like F1.
Yeah.
In the European elitism right now, shit talking the Indy 500, you don't fucking shit talk the Indy 500. Tell me, like it's just turning left. Paste. Your drivers are that much better. Tell that to Alonso after he got bumped from the Indy 500.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. If you've never watched the Indy 500 or never gone to the Indy 500, you can't shit talk it.
Yeah, no.
Watch it. It's the greatest spectacle in racing. Trademark.
And also, shocker, shocking news, guys. You can like more than one race series. You can like IndyCar and you can like F1. You can like other series other than F1, and it's not saying F1's bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing stopping you from watching any other series.
I'm saying F1's bad now, but that's for other reasons.
Yeah, but, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, what you enjoy is what you enjoy, obviously.
If we can get back to, like, 2020 and 2021 F1, I'd still be a big fan.
Yeah.
They ruined the cars when they went to the 2022 regs. That's my hot take.
Yep.
I also think that this will be a different video, because we're already at half an hour. The cost cap is ruining the title fights, I think. Like, you look back to, like, 2018, Ferrari and Mercedes super close title fight. Because Mercedes outperforms them with a part upgrade, Ferrari's dropping $50 million to get a better front wing.
Yeah. I
understand why we have a cost cap, but cost cap is lower than what Williams was spending when they were broke. The amount of money these teams are worth now, we could raise the cost cap to like probably 300 million and be fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to raising the cost cap a little bit.
I just think it would perform better racing, but I'll come back with some actual good evidence before I propose that.
Yeah, I think it's just... And I think we'll talk about it more, probably have a whole video if we're still covering F1. You never know.
I mean, I'll still cover it. I'll just give the most out-of-pocket predictions ever.
I love it. But the new regs. I am very scared for the safety of F1 drivers with active aero playing a part for speed increases, because that's a dangerous game to play. We see what happens when you don't close DRS going around a full speed corner. You see what happens then. Now imagine a piece of active aero fails and locked in the open, the less aero position, we'll say that.
Breaks. It isn't there anymore.
That's dangerous, because if you don't know it, or if it's like a split second thing where it's just a flip and it doesn't flip, unexpected.
Or if it's under braking. Because you're already going to be pushing your braking point to the absolute max with all the active aero.
Yeah, you're going to be using that stuff. And if you don't have that, and even worse, if it's negatively affecting it, like it's not even like let's say there's an open shut in a middle. If it's in the closed, it could be bad. Very bad. That's my concerns. I'll come back with some more hard evidence on that. But I'm genuinely concerned for driver safety. And I don't say that very often because motorsport's pretty safe now. But I understand the monocoques are crazy, but open wheel, dangerous.
I also think that Formula 2 is a horrible series, but for benchmarking young talent.
That's another. We're gonna start making videos in these off weeks, because I'm thinking about, we have a lot of ideas. So could see some of this stuff talk about in other videos, or if we have
fuck the FIA super license.
Yeah.
I just had to get that one out there. From my boy. But yeah, a little bit of a ranty video. We have a lot more ranty videos coming up, it sounds like, for off weeks. The summer break is going to be an interesting one from us, for F1 specifically. Yes. But yeah, everyone have a great rest of your weekend. Le Mans is still going on right now. Tune in on Motor Trend, or you can also tune in on AO Racing's YouTube channel. A lot of the teams are rocking onboards that they're streaming for free. So
TNT, I think TNT also might have it. If you have Max with the TV options on there, you can find you. If you want, I will say this very slowly. If you would like to watch Le Mans, you will be able to watch Le Mans. Mm-hmm.
Just Reddit is a very good resource for finding places to watch Le Mans.
Yeah,
they're perfectly legal, 100% legal.
There are some.
We would only suggest the ones that are 100% legal. We would never tell you to do something illegal.
No, never go to a website like Crack Streams or anything. That would just be absurd.
Yeah. But everyone have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.
Peace.